Ever find yourself glued to the TV on election night, heart pounding as each state result comes in? You're totally invested, right? Even though, you're not actually the one casting the final vote. It's like uh, our bodies are almost reacting as if we were on the ballot, feeling those wins and losses, especially for men, it seems.
Yeah. It's like our inner caveman is still rooting for his tribe or something, except the battlefield is, well, a ballot box now, I guess.
Right.
And get this, there might actually be a biological reason for that feeling, like a hidden connection between our bodies and all the political drama. We're
Hey.
actually diving into a 2009 study that looked at this, specifically how men's testosterone levels, that hormone we always talk about, linked to competition and all that.
Dominance.
Exactly. So they looked at how testosterone levels fluctuated on the night of the 2008 U.S. presidential election.
That election, I mean, that was kind of a researcher's dream in a way.
Yeah.
Think about it, a true dominance contest playing out on this huge national stage, millions of people invested in the outcome. High stakes. So how did they even, study that?
Okay, so they got a group of men and then women too as like a control group.
Makes sense.
And they took saliva samples before and after those election results were announced. They wanted to see how both, actually voting and just watching the results come in, how those might be impacting hormone levels.
So did they find anything? Was everyone just, hopped up on testosterone from all the excitement of election night?
Well, not exactly. It's actually more interesting than that. What they found was that the men who supported the losing candidates, so McCain and Barr, they saw a significant drop in their testosterone levels after Obama was declared the winner.
Wait, a drop? I thought we were talking about a spike.
It's not that the winners had a huge surge and the losers stayed the same. The guys rooting for McCain and Barr, their testosterone actually went down.
Wow. So even though those guys weren't on the ballot themselves, their bodies reacted to their candidate losing as if they had personally lost, like a political hangover or something, even if they weren't, actually drinking.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. It gives us a glimpse into how deeply ingrained these responses are, how our biology and our political experiences are kind of tied together.
It's pretty wild, but why the drop in testosterone for those guys? If our bodies are reacting this way to a loss, what's the evolutionary advantage in that? Shouldn't we feel more, I don't know, powerful after a loss? Shouldn't we feel more, I don't know, powerful after a loss?
Yeah, you'd think, right. But it actually makes sense when we look at how testosterone works in the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
Seeing that drop after a defeat often leads to less aggression.
Right, if you just lost a fight, you're probably not looking for round two.
Exactly. It's like a way of bowing out gracefully when you've lost that dominant struggle.
Yeah.
You can conserve energy, avoid more potential injury.
Smart.
It's your body going, okay, better to live to fight another day,
So our bodies are trying to protect us from political heartbreaks too, huh? But I mean, this was just one election. You were saying this could apply to other stuff too, right?
Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
think about it. If your body reacts that way when your candidate loses, what about other times you're really invested in the outcome? Some big event or something.
Okay, yeah, I don't know, a major economic downturn. Millions of people are affected. Everyone feels that uncertainty and loss, even if you didn't personally cause the stock market to crash or whatever.
Right. Imagine the market just tanks. People lose their jobs, their savings. Suddenly, there's this feeling of instability everywhere. Could that kind of thing trigger a similar response for some people, even if it's more subconscious than, a conscious thing? Definitely something to think about.
It's kind of like our Stone Age brains are trying to make sense of a totally different world,
Right.
We're wired to respond to these big events, but instead of fighting over actual resources, we're glued to our phones and riding these hormonal waves as we get the news.
It's a weird paradox when you think about it. Our biology is trying to catch up with how complex modern life is. And I think understanding that disconnect can be really revealing.
It makes you think about how we approach political debates and stuff, even online. What if those arguments are partly because of these ancient hormonal shifts that we don't even realize are happening?
It's an interesting thought for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously we don't want to oversimplify things and say all political arguments are just about testosterone, right?
Right.
But it does make you wonder, could being aware of these responses, even the subconscious ones, help us have those conversations differently?
Instead of immediately getting defensive, maybe realizing that a testosterone dip could be making someone more likely to jump into conflict, we could approach things with a little more empathy, maybe.
Exactly. It's about recognizing the subtle cues both in ourselves and to other people. If you already know you're feeling extra reactive or sensitive that day, maybe just take a step back, take a breath, come back to the conversation when you're in a better headspace.
So it's not just about like global politics, but how this research could help us understand our reactions to everyday stuff too.
Totally. Think about it. Have you ever had a setback at work? Something that really drained you, makes you feel demotivated, even if it was a team effort, not all your fault.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially when I've really poured my heart into a project.
Right, and it's easy to get stuck in that cycle of self-criticism, like beating yourself up over it. But what if part of that feeling is really just that dip in testosterone, like a natural response, something your body does to help you conserve energy?
Okay, yeah.
So instead of being so hard on yourself, you could look at it as your body saying, hey, take a break, regroup, come back to this with fresh eyes.
I like that. Like giving yourself permission to step back, recharge a little. Sometimes a step back is the best move.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the most empowering things about this research. It helps us understand ourselves better, our strengths and our weaknesses, so we can approach things in a smarter, more empowered way.
Okay, but going back to elections for a second. If guys who support the losing candidate have that testosterone dip, does that mean they're just gonna check out of politics completely? Like throw their hands up and say, my hormones have spoken, I'm out of here.
That's a good question, and it brings up a really important point. We have to remember, testosterone is just one piece of a much bigger picture,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
There are other things that influence how we engage politically. Our values, our social groups, even just our individual personalities. There are the things that influence how we engage politically.
Right, so we're not saying it's like hormonal destiny, like your
Yeah.
testosterone level alone determines if you're going to be politically active or not.
Exactly. It's not that direct. Think of it more like just because someone might feel a little less gung-ho after an election doesn't mean they're suddenly going to turn into a hermit who ignores politics completely.
So they're not all going to like ditch their I voted stickers and pretend campaign season never happened.
Exactly. It might just mean they need a different outlet for a bit. Instead of, jumping into heated debates, maybe they focus their energy on something else. Community organizing, or volunteering for a cause they care about, or even just having more thoughtful conversations about the issues.
I like that. It's like finding ways to participate that feel right for you, even if your energy is a little different based on, well, things you might not even realize are affecting you.
Exactly. And that's what I think is so cool about this kind of research. It helps us understand ourselves better, our strengths, our weaknesses, the whole package. And when we get that, we can navigate the world in a way that feels more, authentic and empowered.
It's like having this whole new lens to see things through, and not just politics, but all kinds of areas of life.
Absolutely. And honestly, this is just scratching the surface. There's so much more to explore with this.
Like what? Give us a sneak peek at where the research could go next.
Well, we could look at how these hormonal responses to winning and losing, how those differ across cultures. Like, do people in super competitive societies have more dramatic swings than those in places that are more cooperative?
Oh, that's interesting.
And what about age? Do younger people experience these shifts more intensely? And of course, we can't forget about the female perspective. This study was all about men and testosterone, but what other hormones might be at play for women when they're processing these same kinds of events? So many questions.
Okay, I get it. Your point is made tons of research still to be done. Seems like every answer just leads to even more fascinating questions.
That's science for you. It's a never-ending journey of discovery.
Well, on that note, I think we've given our listeners plenty to chew on, maybe even spark some self-reflection about their own, hormonal journeys through all of life's ups and downs.
Couldn't have said it better myself.